Ladies and gentlemen, there is absolutely no time to waste because I found the perfect side hustle that you guys can do where you guys can work 1 or 2 hours per day on top of your normal 9-to-5 job and eventually out earn it and make well over $10,000 per month to allow you the freedom to quit your job and pursue the side hustle full time. Now look guys, I get it. You guys are working like 40 plus hours a week. And on top of that, you guys have to spend extra time driving to and from work while dealing with family, maybe going to the gym, even things as simple as eating, and still trying to figure out how you can see friends or do anything fun without going insane. While on top of that, trying to get a side hustle to allow you to earn more money to get you more freedom. But the truth is you can absolutely do that. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of how Francis and I were able to do this for ourselves and quit plumbing entirely to pursue flipping land. And that is the side hustle I'm going to be discussing today. Land flipping is essentially just buying pieces of random vacant land. You can do it in essentially any state and you can work 1 or 2 hours per day and you can easily out earn your full-time job while doing it. Now, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Levi. I'm co-owner of MMC Land, where we buy and sell vacant land parcels while also helping new land flippers get their first deal or even help more experienced land flippers get more deals with better strategies. So guys, a little bit of backstory. Francis and I built our business while literally in like the worst position, and I'm going to pop some pictures up on the screen of us while we were working as plumbers. But like guys, I'm not even kidding. I literally think that the job we were doing is like the worst job to have while trying to do a side hustle, but we still managed to do it, and I'm going to explain exactly why. But yeah guys, we were literally the only 2 plumbing technicians in our field in our plumbing company. And so what that means is if one of us wasn't working, one of us was, because plumbers work like the absolute weirdest hours ever because there's random emergencies, like someone's house is completely flooded and they have to send us out there. They don't have a choice. So we were kind of on call 3 or 4 times a week. We swapped off having the 4-day week, but we were on call literally 24 hours, 3 or 4 times a week. On top of that, we worked, 5 days a week each. So we were both working obviously well over 40 hours per week. And yeah, guys, being on call was obviously the worst part about it because it meant no real meetings to be able to discuss our land business, how we could get better strategies to make more money. If we needed to negotiate a deal, we're doing it while we're at a customer's home, like fixing their leak or, whatever we're doing there. If we needed to ever go to the bank to do a notary, I would have to do it in between jobs, and it was just a nightmare. Like it was literally like the worst job to do this in, but we still managed to get through it. And that's why I know everyone can do this that's watching. So very quickly, I want to go over why land is the perfect side hustle for anyone in any situation. You have absolutely 0 repairs that you need to make. So any land that you're buying is just going to be dirt and trees. You're not making improvements. You don't have to fix broken pipes or toilets or anything because it's just not there. You're selling as is. And on top of that, you don't need to go walk your potential buyers through the property. You're essentially just listing on Facebook and you're just texting them the address. They can go whenever they want, and when they're serious about moving forward, they hop on a phone call with you and you just explain your process. And on top of that, guys, you can do anything virtually. So you can make offers, you can market your properties and close deals all 100% virtually. You never have to go there physically to wherever you're land flipping to be able to get a deal done. All you need is a laptop and an internet connection, and with that laptop and internet connection, all you really need is an hour or 2 a day of very focused work, and you can make this happen very easily while working 40 plus hours a week. And if you guys really lock in, you can really make money your first year, or even if you're really good and get the hang of it quickly, your first 6 months and be able to quit your full-time job. So guys, I am going to give you a full 7-day schedule that anyone can follow, even if you're working full-time. It's designed to get someone to be able to reach out to 100 leads per week. And I feel like 100 leads per week should be your outreach bare minimum when you're trying to get your first deal. If you have too many deals in the pipeline and you can't afford to buy all of them, then obviously cool off on outreach. Tailor your needs to outreach or any part of the schedule to your best fit. Like for example, if you can't work Sunday, you can't work Sunday, it is what it is. You can still, work 6 days and just keep like the general principle of what you need to do. But again, that's for you guys to figure out. Let's start with Monday. So guys, Monday's focus is to research new areas for potential outreach. This can include finding a county, a subdivision that you like inside of that county, and finding specific parcels in that subdivision that you want to do more research on so you can make offers to the landowners. All of Monday's work can be done in just an hour, and of course there's a learning curve to finding new areas, but as you get better, it'll be super fast. So guys, now we're on Tuesday. Tuesday is probably the quickest day by far. All you're going to do on Tuesday is you're going to run your comps and reach out to realtors if necessary to go ahead and find out more information if you're in a non-disclosed state. If you finish early, it's probably a good idea to get started on Wednesday's schedule, but you have a full hour if needed. So guys, now it's Wednesday. On Wednesday, what you guys are going to do is find phone numbers for your leads. It might take you an hour or two to get phone numbers for 100 leads, but that is the golden number. So if you guys need to work a little bit more that day or get started early on Wednesday, you have that choice. But I also give you time on Thursday to do this as well, because it does kind of take a while. Now on Thursday, like I already said, continue finding those phone numbers for 100 people. Again, that is the number that you want to be hitting for outreach if you're just starting off. And once you're done with that on Thursday, use the remainder of your hour or two to start cold calling those leads. So guys, now we're on Friday, and it might be clear, but essentially Friday, you're just going to pretty much use the whole day to cold call these leads. It's good to have 2 days to cold call anyway. So when you reach out to someone via multiple days, you'll realize that you have a higher success rate of actually getting the chance to speak on the phone with someone. So guys, now we're on Saturday. If you can't go and finish all of your cold calling on Thursday or Friday, keep doing this on Saturday. Cold calling is important because whoever you can get in contact with, you don't actually have to send mail to. So it does save you time on sending mail as well. And so on Saturday, keep doing that. If you finish cold calling, you're pretty much just going to write mail to everyone that you couldn't reach out to over the phone. And so out of your golden 100 leads, if you get in contact with 40 of them, that's 40 mail that you no longer have to write, and it saves you time. Now guys, there's a little bit of leeway here, because if you genuinely don't have enough time to cold call at all because you're working or you're too busy, not because you're being lazy, but you genuinely don't have the time, just stick to writing mail. It's a little bit faster, and you can substitute the days for finding those phone numbers and cold calling just for writing mail. And since in this situation you're going to be working full time, you should easily be able to afford the cost of mailing, even though it's the most expensive type of outreach. Now guys, Sunday's here. If you're following the normal schedule, just continue doing mail. But again guys, tailor the schedule to your needs. I know it's not going to work for exactly anyone, but you can kind of take what I'm saying as a blueprint and design your own strategy. Both Saturday and Sunday should be enough time to get you done with the mail that you need to do. And to be honest guys, if you're doing 100 outreach per week, you're gonna land more deals than you have money for at first when you're just starting out. You're going to notice that you have too many deals in the pipeline, and you actually get to choose between the best ones, and you can actually come back to other deals later once you have more money to pursue them. And guys, I just wanted to make a little note, because on top of the outreach stuff that I tailored the schedule around, which again should be your number one priority, because you don't make money unless you do outreach, essentially. You will need small time here and there to do random stuff, like talking on the phone with leads that you're trying to buy or sell to, go to the bank to do notaries when you're selling a property, respond to texts on Facebook. But again, most of your time is going to be spent on outreach, so I'm focusing on that primarily. Nonetheless, following this schedule similarly or exactly how I made it should be able to get you 100 leads contacted in a week, and should be enough to be able to get you guys some quick results. And what kind of video would this be without me giving you guys some time-saving tools? So I'm going to go over some tools that help me save time in my land flipping business. So the most important tool is honestly ChatGPT, or any AI that you want to use. You guys can ask AI pretty much any problem that you have, and generally it'll give you a very good answer, right? So for example, if you're trying to do research on a subdivision to see if it has city sewer, or if it needs septic systems, or on the other hand, if it has community water setup, or if you need a well, you can ask ChatGPT, and it analyzes listings from the MLS to give you an answer. So it's actually kind of insane. Francis and I use that a lot if we're having time figuring that out. And on top of that, if you have any legal questions or need a certain document to get a deal done, it can literally make it for you. It's really just insane technology, and I think if you're not using it, you're just going to be less efficient than we are, simply put. Number 2 is LandGlide or Regrid or any other type of land software, and the reason you need this is because it's going to help you find areas to do outreach on. One of these types of softwares is a must-have, so get it ASAP. Now, the next software is not 100% necessary, and we don't really use it, but it's called Pebble. Now, this software is very expensive, but it's actually very helpful. It can actually write mail for you and get it delivered for you. It's just a little bit more money than doing it yourself, but it does save you some time. On top of that, it has very good lead management and it has a really clean UI, so it's very easy to use. So it can really just make your life a little easier when you're trying to organize your leads, stuff like that. But again, I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're already making money. And the last tool that I have is just hiring a virtual assistant. And so again, this is not needed, and I probably wouldn't do this until you actually understand like the land flipping business yourself, so you can actually teach someone. But you can hire a VA and they can literally do like anything for you. If you want them to cold call for you, they can cold call for you, and you can just pay commission off of that. You can have them find new areas for you. You can have them respond to messages to sell your properties on Facebook for you. Like literally, virtual assistants can do anything that you think of. All you have to do is just teach them and they will do it. And again, this isn't really recommended until you're at a point where you really want to start scaling quickly and you can afford them. But if you really want to save time, having a virtual assistant will help you out a lot. And eventually, I think it's something that everyone can achieve because you're going to get passive income off of your seller financing contracts, and that passive income will just pay their wage. Now, there's a couple things that would stop someone from getting started, and I feel like the most common thing that someone will say when starting a side hustle to kind of give them an excuse to not get started is that they don't have enough time. But I literally just gave you guys a schedule that you can follow 7 days a week. All you need to do is work an hour or 2 per day. So let's just say you work like 10 hours a week. Anyone can easily work 10 hours a week spread across 7 days. And I just gave you the exact blueprint on how to do that. So don't be that person. Another excuse is I don't have the money. Now, with land flipping, it literally only costs as little as a couple $100 in rare cases, but really all you need is a couple $1,000s to get started, and you can scale very quickly from that point because you're getting 3 to 5x returns on your investment each time if you're following the process correctly. And if you don't even have a couple $1,000s to get started, you can even start with wholesaling properties because it's free. All you're doing is outreach, and eventually you'll get a deal doing it that way. Now, I don't really like wholesaling. I feel like it's not as effective as just buying it and selling it yourself. And it will take definitely more outreach to find someone that's willing to cooperate with you on that. But again, you can do it if 100% necessary to be able to fund the start of your land flipping business. And the last one is I don't really know how to start, but that one is very easily solved because all you need to do is subscribe to Francis and I. We are making videos each week to help you start your land flipping business for free. Now guys, if it isn't obvious already, land flipping is literally the perfect business to build while you're working a full-time job. It doesn't require 12 hours a day. You just need 1 or 2 hours a day, like I mentioned in the schedule, to be successful. And on top of that, most of the things that I mentioned is like getting phone numbers or writing mail or running comps, which isn't that hard to do. You can literally do all of these things while you're like watching Netflix in the background or like spending time with family. So there's really no excuses, bro. Like you can literally watch Netflix while you write mail. So there's no excuse not to be able to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, so with that being said, just make smart offers, market like a true professional, and keep scaling your land flipping business. 1 hour a day is all it takes to change your life and make you be able to quit your full-time job and actually out-earn it. Guys, it's very easy to go and obtain $10,000 per month following all my tips and my blueprints. And on top of that, once you get very good at what you do, you're going to be able to get $10,000 of passive income each month just off of your seller financing contracts. So anything you get on top of that is just a blessing at that point. But in order to get there, you do have to take your first step and get started right away. If you guys like the video. Also, make sure you comment anything you want to learn or anything you liked about the video and subscribe. I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day and peace out.